Hey guys, just another quick follow-up on this whole Neverwinter Classic business. So I wanted to find out like where this email came from, because it just says the Neverwinter team on there. So I did get a response from the original OP on the MMORPG thread, where they said that they were being surveyed for Neverwinter Classic. So I said, is this real? This would be amazing. The original game, which included the original Castle Never dungeon. Does anyone remember the original Castle Never dungeon? I think there would need to be a few changes made to the original game regarding the economy, etc. I don't know. If I remember correctly, just to unslot gems, you had to pay AD to do that. But we made AD in Professions also. So I don't know what they would do. There's so much to talk about in terms of the actual game that they would release. Are they just going to go verbatim and take a direct copy of the original release, or are they going to make a bunch of changes? What are they going to do if they get enough response and they see there's a market for this? I don't know. So much to talk about. It should be set up, release the original version of the game, and then promise to release the classic mods up to 5. This is me talking here. So I think up to mod 5 is good, because mod 6, we lost everything. We lost everything that was good. We did get some things like the Paladin, but we lost a bunch of stuff. So I would love to see the original game and then mods up to 5, slowly released up to 5. I have no idea what their plan would be. But here's the thing about this video today. This person then responded saying it was sent by Arc Games, the publisher. I'm like, huh? Wait, I thought Deca, where's Deca? I thought Deca was running the show. Well, Arc Games is still around, so I did some research. Here's a thread. Gearbox Publishing. Remember Gearbox? That whole thing? Gearbox Publishing has officially rebranded as Arc Games. This happened about a year ago. So Embracer is going to be involved here as well. So let's take a look. Yes, Embracer Group owns Arc Games. So Embracer is the big guy. Arc Games was formerly known as Perfect World Entertainment, which Embracer Group acquired in 2022, and the company was rebranded to Arc Games in 2024 after the divestment of Gearbox Entertainment, which was purchased by Take-Two Interactive. So there was a part of Gearbox that was sold off to Take-Two. The publishing part, still owned by Embracer, they had to rename it. They renamed it back to Arc Games, probably to match the launcher, the client launcher, stuff like that, from the original game. And so Embracer Group is the big guy. And I wanted to find out, does Embracer own Deca? Yes. Deca Games is still owned by Embracer. So Deca, which is a German company, which takes free-to-play games and tries to squeeze some lemon out of the lemon, before it's over. So Embracer owns Deca. They also own Arc Games. Okay. Here's the information on Deca. Berlin-based video game publisher, specializes in acquiring and operating established free-to-play games. So if that's true, who exactly would be making Neverwinter Classic? I don't think it's going to be Deca. I think it's going to be Arc Games. Who works at Arc Games? Current status. Arc Games is still a part of Embracer Group and operates as a publisher for games like Remnant and Hyper Light Breaker. Never heard of that, but of course we've heard of Remnant. Who works there? Who works at Arc Games? I don't know. Is Thomas Foss there? Is Julia there? Most of the actual developers for the original Neverwinter, they're gone. I think Astrodoll went to San Diego to work on, I already forgot the name of the games, because I've been so out of the MMO scene. But so Arc Games is still there. I think they would be the one working on it. The code base for the original game is, I'll talk about this in a second. The code base for the original game is still there, I guess, somewhere. And so I don't know exactly who would be working on this, or they would have to hire new people. But anyway, Arc Games apparently are the people that sent this, and they are owned by Embracer. They used to be Gearbox, the publishing part of Gearbox, but it's not Decca. Decca is owned by Embracer, but they also owned Arc Games up in San Jose, probably California. So I don't know if they would be, Decca and Arc Games would be working together, or if Arc Games would just be working on it separately. The current Neverwinter apparently is going to stay no matter what. This would be a classic version of the game. So here is the survey. Thanks to Nova. Nova already made a video about this yesterday. I didn't know about it. I watched that this morning. He provided the link to the survey. Apparently, I already filled it out. So apparently anyone can just do this. I filled it out and submitted the survey. So it's from this website called Survey Monkey. So I don't know if you could just do this over and over again. The main thing I like is having a free form text here at the bottom that you can fill out stuff for. So that's what we have so far. So everything's been pretty much confirmed. Now we wait. Now we play the waiting game. What's going to come next? In my survey that I filled out, I told them at the bottom, and I gave them my email address here and said, I am here. I am retired. If you need help testing Neverwinter Classic, I am available. And I'm not asking for money or anything like that. But if they need help testing, I would be more than glad and willing to help test. So I actually put that in there, gave my email address. And if they do contact me or anything like that, of course, I would let you guys know about that. So that's where we're at here today. This came from the Arc Games, which was a renaming of Gearbox, the Gearbox publishing part. And they're over in Northern California. So things are starting to kind of shape up for this. And again, another question is the timeline if they do decide to do this. Like where it says it's a high-level idea. High-level idea? Like how long would it take for them to get some kind of working version that we could play with or whatever? I mean, how long would this take? And are there enough people saying we want to where they would actually implement it? So two things have to happen. They have to look at all these surveys and make a decision, because it's going to cost money for them to do this if they do it. So we have to wait for that decision. Whether or not they're actually going to disclose that or not, I do not know. So there may be a huge delay here in any further real news. I don't know. I am monitoring the Discord for Neverwinter right now to see if there's anything new going on. So we'll follow up on this. I'm sure there'll be people like Nova and others. Maybe, I don't know if Garlinks is still involved or is going to make video about this. I'm sure he probably would. Maybe some other people, the OGs on YouTube, Mini-Me, and I don't know what he's doing. Some of these people have long gone. I would think people like DRD and Rivetus would be excited to see Classic come back. The GWF, Wills, and just so many people that we knew from the old days. They may not even have heard this news yet about this survey. Let's just let this bake and see where things go from there. Thanks, guys.